Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Alex. We are going to be doing a check-in with Jimin and Hybe. This has been requested a couple of times. I thought that the check-in I did with each of the BTS members was going to be enough. It was not enough. I feel like it's also kind of valid. I feel called to it. I don't think that anybody is super annoying for like requesting Jimin and Hybe and their relationship. I don't think that's annoying at all. This is going to be a shorter one, I think. I don't know, maybe not. I always say that. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see why everyone is so concerned. I think the general consensus is that people feel like Hybe doesn't treat Jimin very well. You guys know that I'm not like a BTS expert, so I don't know the ins and outs of like how each member is acting every single day. I don't know what it looks like when they're acting weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, or when they look like they're unhappy. So you're getting like a completely unbiased kind of reading here for sure. So let's see how Jimin is doing. Jimin's energy. And then let's get Hybe's energy. Let me move this. The lighting's kind of weird here. It looks weird to me with my eyes. I don't know why. Okay. And show me Hybe. Look at their relationship. I've also done a lot of other readings on BTS and Hybe, so I did a whole reading on Hybe itself, so definitely go check that out if you guys are curious. Okay. Jimin wants to leave. Everything in this video is alleged and for entertainment purposes only, by the way. So Jimin looks like he wants to leave. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are also picking up on that vibe. Two of Swords reverse, that's a separation. Three Wands is about expansion and like waiting for better ships to come in, looking towards the future. He feels very optimistic about not being at Hybe. Like there's this vibe about him that's like anything's better than here. Like I'm not getting like shitty, bad, bratty attitude from that either. I just think that he sees opportunity elsewhere. He feels like he can expand and really truly be himself somewhere else, allegedly. The Hangman and the Fool. This is a timeline. I feel like, I don't know if we're going to see this in the public, but something's happening for him around the end of Aquarius into Pisces season. So February into like March, something's going to be happening for him. I do believe that BTS is having a comeback. I think that's around the time that BTS is having a comeback too. So it may be something about that, but there's a plan here. I feel like no one can really get in the way of it either. So you don't need to worry about like, oh my gosh, is Hybe gonna sabotage him or something? They might try, but I don't think anyone can really get in the way of this kind of Aquarian and Piscean combo energy. Pisceans are very imaginative. They dream very, very big. The Aquarius paired with that is amazing because this will bring it back down to earth and really like kind of give it roots. So I'm excited to see what he does next. I'm excited. He might kind of do the comeback and then try to scooch away quietly from Hybe, allegedly, maybe. The Hangman and the Fool. So this is kind of like a sacrificial energy as well. Like I think he's just kind of trying to hold out right now with Hybe. I think he has a contract and he's going to fulfill that contract. He's going to check off all the boxes. He's probably not going to do anything extra. At least it doesn't look like he really wants to. The Hangman is feeling suspended, feeling a little bit stuck. So he's going to stick it out until he can finally be free here with the Fool. To me, he feels like he's playing his cards correctly. He's playing really smart. So that's really good to know. I hope that that brings you guys are Army. I hope that brings Army some like peace and some like, you know, good vibes. You know, he may not be super happy where he's at, but he has a plan. He's being smart. and I think it's gonna work out for him. How does Hybe feel about that? Okay, 4 swords and the Ace of Cups reverse. I think that they know that. I'm sure they probably feel this way about other BTS members as well, but I think that they know that Jimin doesn't really want to continue on with the company. Allegedly, I think they know that in order to keep him, there's a lot of fixing and repairing that has to be done. The 4 swords is about resting and healing, and I'm kind of getting the image of someone like putting duct tape here and like welding and hammering here, like rebuilding things, you know? So I think like in order to get Jimin to stay, it would have to be a completely different environment. It would have to be built almost from the ground up. And I think he has the right to ask for that. This kind of energy though is making them really insecure. And if you've been paying attention to my other BTS and Hybe readings, you would know that I think that Hybe has a really big storm coming, allegedly. I think that they have a lot of financial stuff that is we have some financial stuff that may not be so legal happening, allegedly. I could be wrong, but there is an insecurity here with the Ace of Cups in the reverse. This is not being able to fill up your own cup, okay? So Hybe is very aware that they can't really be Hybe without Jimin. We can say that for like all of BTS, but Jimin has he holds a sort of weight at Hybe, which is really good to see. I don't know if he knows that. I don't know if he feels that. I think like logically he probably knows that, but sometimes that doesn't match up with how our heart feels, especially if we've been mistreated by our company, right? So, or mistreated by anyone. It's like logically we know we deserve better, but it's like we still feel like shit. So they feel a little bit scared. They're kind of shaking in their boots a little bit because they know that this company will not be the same if Jimin takes off. And then we have the Chariot and the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, this is taken off. Get in the car, let's go. I have this image of him just like literally getting into his car and driving away. So I'm making sure it's still recording. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, which 5 of Pentacles is about abandonment, but this is also an energy of coming out of the cold. I will say Jimin looks like he feels very alone. The last BTS check-in I did with everyone, when I did the individual member check-ins, I kind of saw that Jimin felt like no one really listens to him, which is an energy of the 5 of Pentacles. So I was kind of like, I don't know if he feels this way about his members, but now that I'm seeing this, it looks like that was geared maybe more towards his company, allegedly. Allegedly. Guess who's jealous of Adele? Beyonce. Okay. I feel like Jimin is... he kind of feels like a burst of like... he's like a ray of sunshine in the middle of like a snowstorm. I know that sounds really fucking stupid. That sounds dumb, but it's like Hybe is so aware that like Jimin is essential to the operation of Hybe. They're so aware of it, and without that ray of sunshine or like that warmth, maybe warmth is what I'm trying to get at. Without that warmth, it's just gonna kind of crumble. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I've said this multiple times actually. I think I would be very surprised if BTS stayed at Hybe. I would not be surprised if they sold the shares that they have. Also, thank you to everyone in the comments who made me aware that the BTS members are not major shareholders. I thought they were. They have shares and stocks in the company, but they're not like major shareholders. I did not know that. I thought that they were. So thank you for educating me on that. This makes the exit a little bit easier. I think that I really wouldn't be surprised, you guys, if they all just kind of like sold their stock and went and started their own company, or, you know, individually did their own thing or whatever. Jimin looks like he's trying to go somewhere else. So let's see. I mean, this is about Jimin and Hybe, right? We'll see what's next towards the end. Okay, Cancer, Aquarius, Pisces here. Can you tell me about the specific treatment that Jimin gets at Hybe or from Hybe? Whoa. They're very combative with him, allegedly. A challenge card. Oh, brother. Okay, this isn't just Jimin, because we have the Three of Pentacles. That's co-workers, so that's definitely his members. More Aquarius. And when's his birthday? Is he an Aquarius? I don't think so. Maybe he is. My stomach is growling really loud. Please ignore that. I'm like really hungry. I'm gonna go home after this and make hash browns and eggs. Okay. We have Five of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so Five of Wands was the first card out. This is conflict and fighting and drama. So I feel like whenever Jimin allegedly has like tried to present some sort of idea, it's like Hybe kind of meets him with like this. And I just feel like, again, he doesn't really feel heard or like seen. He feels like nobody wants to listen to his ideas. And I feel like he has really, really good ideas. It's really sad to me if this is true, because I could be wrong. If this is true, I feel really sad because I think we all know what it feels like to have this like genius creative idea and then we like kind of talk about it and someone shuts us down. It's like the worst feeling ever. It wouldn't surprise me like during his solo stuff if he wanted to go in a certain direction and they kind of like steered him in another, or they told him that he couldn't do certain things that he wanted to do. It would not surprise me at all. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles is about like sticking to something. It's about sticking something out. So the Knight of Pentacles is not the worst energy in the world, but it's also like very stubborn. This is a very slow moving energy. It's kind of like dragging your feet a little bit. The Knight of Pentacles is someone who's planting seeds for the future, which means you may not see your harvest for another year, right? And so I think Hybe has this idea with Jimin that like if you just stick to the formula, we'll get our money, right? We're still talking about pentacles here. We'll get our money and everything will be fine. And you just need to shut up and just do the thing that works. The Three of Pentacles coming out as a challenge is, right, this is how Hybe is treating Jimin. There's this similar vibe here with his members, the Three of Pentacles coming out as a challenge. There's a similar vibe here where Hybe just is very like they have ideas and then they just get shut down. This is having a hard time meeting someone in the middle. That's the energy of this. This is having a hard time collaborating, having a hard time with shared projects. The Two of Pentacles is about finding balance. So Hybe is not good, allegedly, a lot of the time at giving these guys creative freedom. Yes, this definitely applies to Jimin a little bit more in this context, but this is something that all of the members have experienced. So there's something specific about Jimin that he's experienced that makes it a little bit more dramatic for sure. But for the most part, Hybe's been a little bit difficult with all of them. Overall, I think that they kind of bond over it. I think that's why this is coming up. Overall, we have the Well and the Fool. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I feel like I'm just like channeling. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm like, brrr. The Well and the Fool, I feel very tapped in. The Well and the Fool, this is about nurturing, and this is like a new beginning and taking a risk. So I just feel like Hybe tells them, they do a lot of yapping, allegedly. They do a lot of yapping. They tell them like, oh yeah, we're gonna let you do this and we're gonna let you do that, and then like they get into the studio or they get into the first meeting to like plan out everything, and then it's just butting heads. I think at the end of the day, it's all about making money and like what will make the most money and just extracting money from fans. And I think BTS is kind of tired of it. I get this vibe from BTS that they are willing to take a pay cut if that means that, and by pay cut I mean like maybe fans don't go to the concerts because they don't like the music, but they're like willing to take that pay cut even if it means that they're putting out the projects that they want to put out. It's kind of like One Direction going solo, right? Like, no, they're not selling out. I mean, Harry Styles is selling out stadiums. I think some of the other guys have sold out stadiums too, but you know, like they all go solo and they're not selling out Madison Square Garden the first year of going solo is what I'm trying to say. I think they're willing to, you know, do the little small tours and put out the projects that may not be BTS level of success. That's okay with them as long as they're getting to do what feels good to them. Yeah, scarcity tactics. Yeah. I feel like Hybe tries to scare them into fake smiles, thief, scarcity tactics. Hybe tries to scare them, allegedly, into being scared of being broke. What happened to my lighting? What just happened? Hello? Why am I pink? Hello? There we go. Okay. I don't know what just happened. Yeah, I think Hybe tries to scare them into thinking like, if you don't do this, you're gonna go broke. It's just not true. That's a scarcity tactic for sure. And you see how the picture here is chess? It's manipulative. It's, you know, Hybe thinks that BTS is playing checkers and Hybe is playing chess. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's true. I think Jimin is definitely the one who's playing chess in this situation. We have thief here and fake smiles. This to me is Jimin being like, I know what you're doing and I know what your intentions are. I know what you've taken and I know what you're holding on to. I'm sorry, you guys can hear the AC. I'm sorry. It's really loud. He knows about the shitty things that are going on, and he feels like someone who's processed a lot of the terrible things that have happened to him, and he's gotten to the point where maybe he's realized that it's not his fault. But now it's like, now that he's realized that it's not his fault, he's just kind of holding out until this comeback is over and then he can go work on the things that he wants to work on. He's definitely just kind of like putting his head down, it feels like. More Aquarius energy here. I love that he is embracing Aquarius energy. He's definitely thinking outside the box. He's playing the long game. He's playing the long game for sure. What's coming next for Jimin? Yeah. I like that the Wheel of Fortune is here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Not the best reading, not the worst, but I like it. What happened to my lighting again? Wait, why does it keep going pink? I don't understand what's going on. Anyway, maybe pink is like one of his favorite colors or something. I wouldn't know. Page of Cups reverse, Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Wands reverse, and the Hanged Man. Not the worst, not the best. This is a creative block, but the Wheel of Fortune is the wheel finally turning up for him. The universe is like, we're stepping in. We're gonna help you balance things out again. We also saw the Two of Pentacles earlier. So balance is coming for him. You know, the universe doesn't necessarily see good and bad. It sees out of balance and imbalance. And I think the universe recognizes that Jimin is kind of way leaning over here, and they're gonna kind of help push him back up here, which is nice. So definitely some like divine energetic assistance coming in for him, and I think that he feels it. I think that he's smart enough to recognize when the opportunity is presented to him, and I think he's smart enough to say yes. So I think he's a smart guy. I think he knows what he's doing this time around. He feels a lot more like put together. He feels very like strategic. I like it. It's a good vibe from him. The Seven of Wands reverse and the Hangman. Hangman keeps coming out for him. Pisces season is going to be very significant for Jimin, I think. Again, this feels kind of like I have to stick this out and just kind of like, I have to be here for a little bit, but it's okay. Seven of Wands reverse is kind of like letting your guard down. So I think that he's going to enjoy this comeback as much as he can and hit the ground running when it's all done. Overall, High Priestess and the Nine of Pentacles. I love this. I love this for him. This is bougie Taurus energy, okay? Nine of Pentacles is about independence, making a shit ton of money, staying in your own lane, tending to your own garden. He's planting seeds for the future up here and out in the real world, which is a good vibe to pick up on when we have a lot of Pisces energy. Sometimes the shadow side of Pisces is being way too much in the clouds and you got to bring it back down a little bit. Keep it grounded. But like I said, he has a lot of Aquarius energy coming out too. That's a good combo, I think. The Piscean vibe is the dream, and it's the goal, and it's the light at the end of the tunnel. And the Aquarian energy is the how do we make this happen? How do we make this happen? What steps do we need to take? And who do we need to ask for help in order to get us there, you know? And the Aquarius energy too is going to help him not be delusional when it comes to partnerships. You can't really fool an Aquarius. Sometimes you can, but you know, like, it's kind of hard to fool Aquarius energy. They kind of see right through people. They're weirdo alien. I'm saying this as an Aquarius sun and moon. They're weirdo aliens. They can kind of recognize when someone has good intentions or evil intentions, and they don't really care like when they tell people no. When Aquarius energy says no, they don't really care that you're upset about it. They're like, okay, go cry about it to your mother or your therapist. Like, I don't know. Yeah, sorry, my nose is running. But yeah, I just feel like the Nine of Pentacles is this dream. He's moving. It's a little bit slower, but that's okay. Taurus energy is a little bit more patient. It's kind of like, I deserve this, and if I need to wait it out, then I'll wait it out. The High Priestess is good too. He's in a very intuitive spot right now. Very, very intuitive. I think he saw the light at the end of the tunnel. He saw God, and he knows what he needs to do now. Okay. What's the advice for Jimin? He was sitting in front of me. What would I need to say? Threatening. The fuck? I think when BTS inevitably leaves Hybe, I'm going to make that prediction. It'll happen probably within the next few years, maybe the next 10 years. It takes a long time to do something like that, I think. It's big energy especially BTS. I mean, they're global sensation. Anyway, you guys know. It looks like Hybe is going to allegedly try to make a BTS copycat. I don't think they're gonna try to like make Hybe or make TXT or make Cordis into a BTS replica. It's not that, but it's some sort of like replica of the success, and it feels very reminiscent of BTS. And it's almost like when Jimin tries to leave, they're gonna threaten him like, we can create another Jimin. If Jimin was sitting in front of me, I would tell him, like, they're gonna tell you that they can create another Jimin. No, they can't. No, they can't. Because even though K-pop is really good at manufacturing idols, they're still humans. Like, Jimin is still Jimin. There's no other Jimin in this industry. He still has his unique qualities that people are drawn to. Yes, he can dance and he can sing and he can do this, that, and the third, just like everybody else in this industry, but nobody is Jimin. You can't recreate that kind of energy. So again, that's that Aquarius energy kind of coming out, that like alien. They think that they can recreate some sort of like alien vibe, and it's like, you can't do that. You can't recreate Jimin or anybody in BTS. Copycat and bad habits. I think Hybe has this bad habit of like threatening, allegedly. They have this bad habit of threatening them with like, oh, we're gonna do this if you leave. We're gonna do. I think Jimin's at the point of where he's like, do it. Do it. Do it, bitch. Do it. And I like it. Okay, that was like, I feel like I just was such a clear channel throughout that whole reading. If I turn out to be wrong about all of this, I don't know who the fuck I was reading on. So lots of Pisces, lots of Aquarius, a little bit Taurus showing up. Okay, Jimin is gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be okay. How do I get a timing card for him? What's a significant time of 2026 that's gonna be something maybe we should watch out for? New moon in February. I was just saying that. That's Pisces season. So something about the comeback, something about the new moon. This may also have to do with the eclipse as well. That's happening in February. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Pretty good reading for Jimin. I believe in him. Fighting, you know. I think he'll be fine. I think he has a little plan up here. If you want to go watch the other BTS and Hybe readings, those are linked in the K-pop readings playlist. It's going to be on the end screen. It should pop up pretty soon if it hasn't already. Definitely go check out the New Jeans readings I've done a lot of readings on Hybe artists, and I hope that this helped you guys. I hope this brought some clarity. Yeah, support these guys, support their independence, and whatever it is that, even if they want to run off and stop being an idol and start a potato farm, we should support them in that if that's what their dream is. So anyways, love you guys so much. I'll see you guys later. Bye.